Hello, everyone. If you, how many people have we got in here? If you could just let me know if you can hear me in the chat, and we'll get started in just a minute. Just give me a wave or post something in the chat if you can hear and see me. I'm looking over to the right because that's where my chat box is. Hello, James. Thanks for coming along this evening. Hello, Vincent. Hello, A. Good. Seems like you can hear and see me. We'll just give it a few more minutes to let a few other people join. Hello, Martin. Hello, William. Hello, Andrew. Hello, is that Stephen or Stefan? Welcome, everyone. Just give it about a minute, and then we'll launch into what we've got in store for you guys. I hope you like my polka dot shirt. I wore it especially. Should have little Bitcoin signs on ready. Hello, Trevor. Hello, Roy. Hello, Ray. As I said, like, my chat window is to the side, so I'm looking over here at the moment, but most of the time I'll be looking straight at the camera. Hello, Andrew from Sweden. Cool. I'm in Devon in the UK at the moment, Andrew. I think I'd rather be in Sweden. Okay, so I think let me just get set up, and then we'll get stuck in. Okay. Right, I think that should. Can everyone see the slideshow that I've just put up? If you just let me know, and then we'll launch in. Should say Crypto with Cash live workshop. Discover my 8-factor strategy that's absolutely trounced Bitcoin, plus get my brand new crypto recommendation for free. Good evening, John. Okay, brilliant. You guys can all hear and see me. Okay, so welcome to the second iteration of our Crypto with Cash live workshop. As you'll see in the next few minutes, it's the strongest, bestest, most value-packed version so far. But before I tell you why, let me introduce myself. My name's Duncan Moorland. I'm a writer for Market Prospectors, the company that publishes Cash's Crypto with Cash service. I've worked with Cash on crypto projects since 2017, and he's been my personal go-to guy for everything crypto since then. I'm always bugging him on Telegram about it. I'll be your host for this evening's workshop, which means I'll be introducing Kash in a minute and pitching him your questions. And Kash, who will be joining us over live video feed in just a moment, will be the one sharing his crypto expertise with you and answering all of your questions. Before we get stuck in, I just want to make 2 quick points. Number one, this is a live broadcast, so apologies in advance if we run into any technical hiccups along the way. If we do, we'll do our best to sort them out ASAP. And number two, we'll be reading from a script some of the time, like I am right now, simply because we want to pack in as much valuable information as possible without waffling on. That said, we'll also open things up to unscripted discussion when we take your questions later on. Right, so let's have a look at what we have in store for you this evening. During this segment, Kash will, first up is the main event. And during this segment, Kash will walk you through his 8-factor strategy that has returned £4,000 while Bitcoin has lost £2,200. Plus, this strategy has uncovered individual coins that have gone up as much as 1,212%. I should actually say that Kash's strategy has actually made about £4,700. Like we redid the maths today, and the portfolio is up more than when I wrote the script. So here's the best part about what Kash is going to walk you through tonight. He'll be walking you through his strategy with a real example taken from the Crypto with Cash portfolio. And even better, this is a brand new portfolio crypto that Kash hasn't shared with the general public before. It's not the coin we shared in the previous versions of this workshop, which is why I say this is the best version so far. So that means Kash will give you the name of this new coin, walk you through the 8 factors that make him believe it has the potential to be one of the portfolio's biggest gainers, give you his recommended buy up to price for this coin, and tell you the best exchange to buy it on. He'll also share why now, when crypto markets are down, is the best time to buy this coin and the other portfolio coins. This is valuable information. Members of the Crypto with Kash service are happy to pay £600 per year for, but tonight you get it for free. And let me just switch to my next slide. Plus, if you stick around to the end of the workshop, we'll share a link to download Kash's full newsletter write-up for this coin and a cheat sheet for his 8-factor strategy, both for free too. After Kash has walked you through his strategy, we'll open up the floor for your questions, which Kash will answer live on air, and you can ask him whatever you like about his strategy or the crypto markets in general. We also collected a few questions from some of you before the event, so we'll be answering those too. Finally, I'll wrap up the workshop by giving you the opportunity to join the Crypto with Kash community, along with the chance to secure a generous discount if you opt for a longer term membership. Of course, there's no obligation for you to join the service. You can simply take part in the workshop tonight and walk away with Kash's strategy and crypto recommendation. But we always like to welcome new members into our community, so the opportunity will be there for you if you do decide you want to join us. That said, we're only opening up the doors to about 50 new members today. That's because we want to make sure we have the capacity to help each new member get set up as smoothly as possible. That's because we offer support via email and also a private Telegram community chat group. So obviously, if we take on too many people at once, we won't be able to offer everyone the one-to-one help we pride ourselves in being able to offer. So just keep that in mind. Now, before I hand you over to Kash for his 8-factor strategy walkthrough, I just want to spell out how effective Kash's strategy has been over the last year since we launched. You see, we launched, let me just switch slides. We launched Crypto with Kash almost a year ago on the 26th of March, 2021. And Kash made one big risky promise, which was written in the headline of the promotional material we used at the time. He promised to uncover cryptos that were bigger than Bitcoin. In other words, cryptos that would return more profits than just investing in Bitcoin itself. And to put it simply, Kash has more than delivered on this promise. As I mentioned earlier, since we launched, the Crypto with Kash portfolio has absolutely trounced Bitcoin. You see, Bitcoin is currently down about minus 22%, whereas the Crypto with Kash portfolio is up. It's up 47%, actually. My slides say 40% because I did these earlier in the week. So if you'd invested £1,000 in Bitcoin on March 27th, 2021, you'd be cradling a pitiful £780, having lost £220. Whereas if you'd invested that same £1,000 in Kash's portfolio, you'd be sitting on a very healthy £1,470, a profit of £470. And of course, if you put more in, say £10,000, you'd be up £14,700, which would be a £4,700 profit. Now, in my opinion, that's very impressive, but it doesn't actually tell the whole story. You see, some of the individual gainers we've had have been truly whopping. And on top of that, Kash also includes lower buy order prices in his write-ups alongside the buy up to price, which gives you the opportunity to pick up some of these coins that he's recommended on the cheap and maximize your gains even further. Let me quickly give you 3 examples. So in his 10th newsletter sent to members in August last year, Kash tipped a little known metaverse crypto that at the time was trading at just 64 cents. If you haven't heard of the metaverse before, it's a broad term for the many online virtual worlds currently being developed in the crypto space. And maybe you saw Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg's announcement about rebranding Facebook to Meta. That's because Facebook are pivoting to focus on the metaverse. They believe it's such a big opportunity. So my point is the metaverse narrative is taking off big time, and that's been great news for Cash's pick. 102 days after he tipped this crypto at 64 cents, it was trading at an all-time high of about $8.40. So that's a gain of 1,212%, or 12 times your money, also known as a 12 bagger. Or in monetary terms, you could have turned every £100 invested in this coin into £1,312, and every £1,000 invested into £13,212. So seriously good stuff there. Even better, as soon as this crypto had doubled in value plus a little extra, Kash sent out a sell alert to members to sell half their holding if they wanted to. This meant members could lock in their initial stake plus a little profit and then ride the subsequent price action completely risk-free. So let me tell you about another example. In newsletter 9, sent out to members in July last year, Kash tipped a crypto, which, by the way, many people still haven't heard of, when it was trading at just $2.76. Just 51 days later, this crypto was trading at an all-time high of $13.78. That's a 399% gain, aka nearly a 4-bagger. Or in monetary terms, the ability to turn every £100 into £499, or every £1,000 into £4,999, so nearly £5,000. Again, Kash recommended selling half a holding on the way up to lock in the initial stake plus some profits, leaving the rest to ride risk-free. And he believes this crypto still has a long way to go. So let me just give you one more example before I hand you over to Kash. In newsletter 5, which went out in May, Kash recommended an Ethereum Killer, a crypto that wasn't the obvious main contender to Ethereum at the time. It was trading at about $33.66, and 163 days later, it was up to a whopping $259.96. Sorry, as you can see by the chart. That's a 672% gain, or a 6-bagger, or in monetary terms, the opportunity to turn every £100 into £772, or every £1,000 into £7,720. Of course, not every tip comes off as well as these ones. We've had losers too, but as I say, overall, the portfolio is well and truly up. And more importantly, Kash's tips have been a big hit with the Crypto with Kash community. For example, community member Graham celebrated making a 47% return in a single day, which are gains you don't see from most stocks even in a year. And then Graham also made some super impressive, slightly longer term gains, cashing out a 214% profit and leaving the rest of his holdings to ride the markets even higher. And Marco cashed out half of another position with a 305% gain. I think Paul, community member Paul, summed this up best when he described this particular portfolio coin as truly unbelievable. What a tip this was. And a lot of the other community members agreed with him. This is why Glenda, long-term community member, I think she's been with us since the start last year. She says Kash sends out sell alerts with incredible accuracy, which is a really nice compliment for Kash. Of course, the first step to locking in these kinds of returns is to make sure you're picking coins with big upside potential, which is what you're about to learn how to do. So without further ado, let me hand you over to Kashaya Abbasi. So let me just minimize myself for you guys, and I'll bring hello Kash.
Hey, you're right.
I'm just going to get rid of this slideshow. We're running in technical details, and everyone just let me know if they can hear Kash. Can you just say hello, Kash, again?
Hey, you're right. Can everyone hear me?
We'll just wait a second and see if everyone can hear you, and then I will disappear.
All good.
How you doing, Kash? You okay?
Yeah, I'm all right. How have you been?
I'm okay. Hopefully I didn't waffle on too much there.
Not at all. Not at all. Yeah, it seems like people can hear me,
People can hear
which
you.
is always good.
Okay, I will minimize myself and I will give you the floor and I'll get your slides up and running.
Awesome. Let's get right into it. So thanks, Duncan. Hi, everyone. It's great to have you all here. My name is Kashaya, but you can call me Kash for short. I won't bang on about my history with crypto, as I know you probably want to get stuck in learning my strategy and get the name of that new crypto that we're recommending. What I will say, though, is that I'm not some super social media guru with millions of followers or some ex-Wall Street trader who has suddenly seen the light in crypto. I'm a pretty ordinary person that happened to stumble into crypto early doors. In fact, I was lucky enough to buy my first Bitcoin back in 2014 when it was trading as low as $300. And I've basically been obsessed with the markets ever since. That said, I take a different approach to investing in crypto than most people out there. You've probably noticed that rather than doing research and due diligence on crypto projects, most people just rush into buying whatever crypto is trending on social media. And even worse, that they do this when the markets are running high because they're scared of missing out, or what's called as FOMOing in. And then whenever markets start to pull back, or even a little bit, they panic sell it all and make big losses. For example, here are a few quotes about the current downtrending market from users of social media site Reddit. One user says, "I can't be the only one who thinks that most of the buy the dip dudes are full of you know what," implying that the markets aren't going to go back up. Another user says, "This isn't a 20% correction. This is a 40% bear market." They may have been right, but they posted this days into the downtrend before anyone had any idea what was really happening. Another user comically gave the advice, "Just sell it all." In fact, there were countless people declaring they were cutting their losses and getting out. But this buy high, sell low mentality isn't new. We saw the same sentiment all over social media during the May crash last May, and also in stock markets for time immemorial. For example, during a stock market crash in 2018, someone posted this on a popular long-term investing forum. "I can't take this anymore. I'm selling stocks and buying bonds." This person decided to sell their portfolio when it was down over $12,000, and yet if they just held on, it would now be up 66%. If only they'd zoom out, just like with crypto right now. Bitcoin, and by extension the entire crypto market over the long term, is undoubtedly on an upward trajectory. So viewed through this long-term lens, when markets are down, it's actually an opportunity to stock up on some bargains. In the words of famous investor Warren Buffett, we simply attempt to be fearful when others are greedy, and to be greedy only when others are fearful. But how exactly do you find the right bargain cryptos to invest in? Well, as Duncan said, even with the current crypto downturn, the Crypto with Cash portfolio is still well in the green. In fact, Crypto with Cash member David says, thanks to my tips, his bank has doubled even when taking into account the current dip. And that's because we use a proven strategy for uncovering potentially big hitter cryptos. You see, in my experience, there are several specific factors that affect the long-term trajectory of crypto prices more than anything else. If you're familiar with the stock markets, you might have come across something called factor investing before. Since the 1970s, a bunch of very smart academics have been proving that there are 8 specific factors that predict outperformance in stock markets. They are volatility, yield, quality, momentum, value, size, growth, and liquidity. These factors are even proven to outperform world index trackers over the long term, which are what most people recommend as the holy grail of stock investing on the UK personal finance subreddit, for example. Anyway, the important thing for us is that the stock market isn't the only place where a set of specific factors predict outperformance. In my experience, investing in crypto since 2014, there are also 8 factors that consistently tell you whether a crypto has the potential to boom or whether it's just another dud. It's these factors that are the reason the Crypto with Cash portfolio is up around 40%, while Bitcoin is down 22%. So what are these 8 factors? From the top, they are the big idea, the team, minimum viable product, or MVP for short, advisors, partnerships, competition, total value locked, or TVL for short, and exchanges. As promised, let's walk through each of these factors with a real example taken from the Crypto with Cash portfolio. The name of this crypto is Mina Protocol. And it's currently trading at around $2, a complete bargain in my opinion. In fact, if our investment narrative plays out, I don't see why Mina couldn't be valued in the tens of dollars in the coming months and in the hundreds of dollars in the coming years. And I think you'll agree with me that once you see my 8-factor analysis. So let's get stuck in, and then afterwards I'll share my buy up to price so you know the optimum price levels to buy this coin at. Okay, factor 1, the big idea. This is pretty self-explanatory. For me to even consider investing in a crypto, it has to solve a problem. And the bigger the problem it solves, the better. Equally important is that it actually needs to use blockchain technology to solve this problem. Otherwise, some traditional financial company might as well do the job. So what is Mina and what problem is it solving? Mina is a coin of the world's tiniest blockchain. In fact, it's so small that the entire thing can fit on your mobile phone. Now, you've probably already heard the term blockchain by now. It's the decentralized technology powering Bitcoin and the whole crypto space. A blockchain is basically a long list of all the transactions that have taken place on a crypto network. And unlike banks who store their transaction data on their private servers, a blockchain's data is stored on many servers or nodes, as they're called, spread out all over the world. Now, here's the problem that Mina solves. Bitcoin's blockchain and Ethereum's, which is the second biggest crypto, are massive in size. They're forever growing. This means that the computer hardware needed to store and help run these blockchains needs to be more powerful, which means it's expensive. So there is now a clear barrier to entry to help run these networks. In other words, only people who can afford to join can join in, which means they're actually becoming less decentralized, which is the whole point of cryptocurrency in the first place. Crypto media outlet Bankless says if you have decentralization, you have everything. That's because being decentralized means being more secure, and the more people who use blockchain technology, the more secure it's going to need to be. Enter Mina. Mina weighs just 22 kilobytes. That's a fraction of the size of Bitcoin and Ethereum. And as I say, so small that it can fit on your smartphone probably hundreds of thousands of times over. This means that Mina is very decentralized. Even better, the way it's programmed, it never grows any bigger. So it will stay this tiny and accessible size forever. So I'd say Mina definitely ticks the big idea box. It's solving a problem hardwired into the biggest and most popular cryptos out there. Next up in our factor analysis, we have the team. Even though crypto projects are decentralized and not necessarily owned by one person or group, they're still being developed by people, and it's important to make sure those people are legit. Mina development is largely taking place at a software development company called O1 Labs, and there are several key players, so let's take a look at each of them. First up is the CEO and co-founder, Evan Shapiro. Evan received a bachelor's in computer science from the prestigious Carnegie Mellon University and later earned a master's in the field while working in a robotics lab. He then went on to work as a software engineer at Mozilla, the company that develops the Firefox web browser. So he's a very smart guy with a background in computer technology. Next up is Isaac Meckler. He also has an impressive background in computer science, receiving a degree in mathematics and computer science from Chicago. He then worked as a software engineer at data-driven trading firm Jane Street. Again, a very impressive background. But even better, alongside helping to develop Mina, he's also a PhD student at UC Berkeley studying cryptography. So a crypto tech enthusiast through and through, and a very smart one at that. Then, more on the business side of Mina, we have June Kim. June has been the general counsel for the Terra blockchain, which is a top 10 crypto. He was also general counsel and vice president at investment bank Goldman Sachs. And he regularly writes for legal publications such as Bloomberg Law and Oxford Law. So he's well versed in the business and legal side of developing and managing large projects such as Mina. Of course, there's hundreds of people involved in developing Mina, but these three are the big hitters at the top, and they give me a lot of confidence in the project. So Mina gets a big green tick for the team part of our factor analysis. Next is factor 3, minimum viable product, or MVP for short. You might have heard of this before. MVP is a phrase used a lot in software development. The basic idea is to take a project from the idea stage to the working product stage as quickly as possible, even if the working product is a bit bare bones. That way, you can actually have something to test in the real world. This is hugely important when choosing cryptos because there are So many that failed projects that take people's money and never deliver anything. In fact, according to 99bitcoins.com, there are more than 1,600 dead coins out there, and I bet a lot of those never even made it out of the hopes and dream stage. So in my opinion, you just shouldn't touch a crypto project if it doesn't already have an MVP up and running. And this isn't some pipe dream. Mina is up and running right now. In fact, anyone can get started running their own network node just by following the instructions on the Mina website. And remember, because of Mina's size, you really don't need some supercomputer to get involved. That's likely why there are already more than 5,300 Mina nodes running all around the world. We can see this by going to minanodes.info, which shows us up-to-date map of where they all are. Interestingly, there are already more than 70 here in the UK. So yeah, I'd say that's the MVP factor well and truly ticked. Okay, next up on our factor list, we have advisors, but we're actually going to talk about this alongside another factor, which is partnerships. That's because Mina has a lot of impressive advisors and partnerships, and many of their partners will also be offering business advice. For example, their investors include Coinbase Ventures, Fred Ersham, the co-founder of Coinbase, Multicoin Capital, who were early investors in Solana and Helium, Naval Ravikant, who is a world-famous investor and the former CEO of AngelList, which is basically LinkedIn for the tech startup world, and 3 Arrows Capital, one of the largest and most successful investment firms in the crypto space. And it's not just investors. Despite being early in development, many novel apps are already being built on top of the Mina blockchain. For example, there's Teller, a decentralized lending protocol that enables users to prove their credit scores are above a certain threshold without the actual scores being revealed to the company. This will hopefully introduce non-collateralized loans into the crypto space, something that's commonplace in the traditional finance world, but until now has not been possible in the world of decentralized finance. So I'd say advisors and partnerships are 2 more big green ticks for our analysis of Mina. Now, number 6 on my list of factors is competition. It should be pretty self-evident why this is important. Put simply, the right amount of competition can help stimulate healthy growth between crypto projects, while too much competition, or even worse, a monopoly, can leave no room for a new project to grow. Mina is a smart contract platform where developers can build other applications on top of. So its direct competitors are other smart contract platforms such as Ethereum, Solana, Avalanche, and Phantom. But as we talked about earlier in our analysis, Mina is addressing the scalability problems that these platforms have. And without becoming more centralized like Solana, for example, where the nodes are owned and run by a much smaller group of people than, say, Ethereum, because Mina is so tiny, it can scale while staying decentralized. So while Mina does have competition, it has a novel solution to a big problem that no one else seems to be solving. So the Mina team is also funding the development of a bridge between Mina and Ethereum, so transactions will be able to take place between the 2 networks. So maybe rather than looking at these other blockchains as competitors, we can view them as potential new markets for Mina to grow into. All of this gives Mina a big tick on the competition front for me. Right, we're nearly finished with our factor analysis now, and the next one is a quick one. It's a metric called Total Value Locked, or TVL for short. Total Value Locked is simply the measure of how much is locked into a given platform. This tells us how popular a platform is and also how much trust people have in a platform. After all, would you tie your money in something you didn't have faith in? Now, because Mina is still early on in its development, it doesn't yet have apps fully up and running on its network. So its TVL is basically non-existent. But that doesn't mean people aren't using the network. Mina's daily trading volume is more than $60 million. So there's obviously a lot of interest. So while I can't give Mina a big green tick for TVL right now, I expect to be able to do so in the future. As I say, if Mina stays on track, I expect the benefits I've outlined in this analysis to bring a lot more money into the network and ultimately drive the value of the coin. This brings us to our final factor, which is exchanges. This one is very simple. Simply put, the biggest crypto exchanges like Coinbase and Binance act as a kind of curation service for the entire crypto space. You see, they don't want to get in trouble with regulators, so they try not to let any dodgy coins onto their platforms. So if they list a coin, it's got to be pretty legit in their eyes. Of course, this is just a guiding light and not a strict rule. You'll always find some crypto wasters sneaking through the back door. But it's a quick and simple check anyone can make to see how much mainstream appeal a crypto has. And the good news is that Mina is available on Binance, which is one of the biggest crypto exchanges out there. So that's a nice, easy tick for this check too. And there we have it. I've walked you through my 8-factor analysis for Mina. I hope you can see why I'm so excited about the future potential of this coin. I really think this could be one of the big hitters in the crypto with Cash portfolio in the coming weeks and months. That's why I say the current $2 price point is a bargain, and my official buy up to price is $4.30. Remember, if it goes the way of some of the other coins in the portfolio, it could soon be trading in the tens of even hundreds of dollars. That's why me and many Crypto with Cash members are stocking up on this coin while it's still in the single digits. Of course, there are risks that you need to keep in mind if you're going to invest in Mina or any crypto for that matter. The whole crypto market is very volatile, and people are always going to say you really should invest any money that you can't afford to lose. No one knows for sure what the future holds, especially for such an innovative technology like the blockchain. Yes, it could take over the world, but alternatively, it could all get eaten up by government regulation and disappear. I mean, I don't think that's very unlikely because of the nature of distributed technology, but it's definitely not impossible. That said, you really don't need to put a lot of money into crypto like Mina for the potential to make some nice returns. £100 would get you a nice stack, and if you were to see the same 1000% gains we saw with another one of my picks, you'd be sitting on thousands of pounds in profit. Of course, you can apply this 8-factor strategy to other cryptos as well, to do your own analysis. As Duncan mentioned, if you stick around to the end of the workshop, you'll be able to download my full write-up for Mina, plus a cheat sheet for my 8-factor strategy, both for free. Right now, though, I'm going to bring Duncan back in, and we're going to open up the floor to your questions.
Hello, let me see if I can work out how to do this. Okay, thank you very much for walking us through your strategy, Kash, and tipping Mina. Mina's a personal favourite of mine from the portfolio as well, so I think it's an exciting one to talk about. So yeah, as Kash said, what we're going to do now is we're going to just take your questions. So if you have any questions about Kash's strategy, Mina, the cryptocurrency Mina, which he's just recommended, what the markets have been doing recently, where Kash bought his jumper from, anything you like, you can ask us. I'll start with a question because there's a slight lag on the chat. So while people are typing their questions in, Kash, the crypto markets have dropped since, say, November. Surely we should not be investing money into markets that have dropped, or should we?
I mean, that's a very good question. Personally, I like to believe that the best time to buy is when the markets are down, when people have forgotten about crypto and moved on to the next big thing, because that's when prices are low, everyone else has sold, and that's the best opportunity. I feel like a lot of people, they hear about crypto when it's hitting new all-time highs and you're at the highest risk level, but when everyone else has stopped talking about it, prices are nice and low, you can buy and accumulate over the long term and build a nice position in anticipation of rallies in the future.
Yeah, especially because nothing has really changed fundamentally with the cryptocurrencies you've recommended. Like the projects haven't, they're still developing, they're still on track. Like really it's kind of maybe geopolitical events or the market needing to cool off a bit. So in my mind, like you said, it's a great time to snap up a bargain, basically.
Yeah.
Like it's just very counterintuitive. We do a podcast and we've talked about this quite a few times. It's like just very counterintuitive emotionally because nobody's talking about it. Everyone's being very negative, but actually that's when you want to go like, okay, I'm going to buy the ones that, I've done the research on and kind of.
Yeah, and one thing we try to emphasize at Crypto with Cash is that you shouldn't really go all in at a certain price. That's why we recommend lower down buy orders. That way you get an average price. If prices were to go lower, then you bring down your average price, and that way you can make the profits in the long term. Yeah.
Okay, I'm not seeing too many questions in the chat, so literally it can be anything you like. Brian said he's having a connection problem. Sorry about that, Brian. Hopefully it gets sorted. But if you've got any questions at all, we've got one from the questionnaire, which is what is your opinion of yield farming, Kash?
That's also a great question.
Could you just explain what it is briefly?
Yeah, essentially yield farming is a way for you to earn some revenue by holding onto your cryptos. So there is this, essentially there are different protocols out there where you can put your cryptos in, lock them into the system, and in doing so, you earn a sort of interest on top of your on your holdings. So yield farming, there are different types. For example, you can use stable coins, which are essentially coins which are pegged to the dollar or the pound, for example. You can put these, stake them into a system, and you can earn up to something like 19-20% annually. And essentially, because these coins are pegged to the dollar, they are essentially called stable coins, and there's less volatility involved. So instead of putting your money in a bank and earning less than 1% interest on it, you can essentially turn your money into stable coins and earn up to 20% per year on it.
Yeah, I really like these because I'm like quite risk averse, I guess. So, the crypto markets are very volatile, whereas like you're saying, the stable coins are pegged to like your pound or the dollar. So it's kind of a more reliable rate. There's like other risks involved, I guess, but like it's more predictable, I guess, those kind of returns. So, and there are some like, what do you think of like 20% I'd say is on the safer end. Like people like me would opt for those kind of yield farming opportunities, but there's like, you can make hundreds of percent in kind of income gains on some of the yield farms. What do you think about the more crazy kind of, what are they called, like degen farms and stuff like that?
Yeah. I've seen farms out there giving you tens of thousands of percent APY. Of course, they're higher risk, but these are all possible things within crypto.
Yeah, so maybe if you like risk, you can pursue that stuff. But I'd say it makes a good part of a crypto portfolio, maybe. And you do a lot of the cryptos that you recommend in the portfolio, you can stake even easily on, say, Binance or Coinbase and stuff like that.
So if you are planning to hold for the long term, you can stake them and earn some extra on top of your holdings. Yeah,
and you might as well kind of thing, like you say, if you're holding them long term. Okay, we've got some questions that have popped up in the chat. So this one is from the questionnaire. I recently transferred funds from my crypto.com to BTX. I don't know if that's Binance, to trade USDT. I made $50, but the process of withdrawing my assets back to crypto.com. Have you heard of BTX? This is quite a technical question.
I haven't heard of BTX, but maybe it's Binance, or maybe let's just assume it's another cryptocurrency exchange. One way to, withdraw the funds back into your bank account is to send the money, send the Ethereum or Bitcoin to Coinbase. On there, you would have linked your bank account, and you can just withdraw straight in.
Okay, yeah. So there are ways to like move crypto between exchanges. I mean, we talk about this in the Telegram group quite a lot, and actually, Graham, one of the members, actually has made a short guide of transferring crypto from FTX exchange to Binance and back and forth. So it's some of that stuff can be a bit technical, but if you've got a group of people to discuss it with, it makes it a lot easier.
I think members of our chat would actually vouch for this. Cryptocurrencies and just diving into this industry can be overwhelming, but once definitely. You make your first trade, and once you set up your first wallet, then it's all plain sailing after there. The initial step may be difficult, but after that it gets a lot more simple.
There's a follow-on question here kind of which fits into that, which is it's from the questionnaire we put out. It says, are there any simple one-stop ways of buying crypto? So how do you recommend the easiest way of buying crypto?
I think Coinbase is one of the most popular exchanges for this because it offers an easy on-ramp for purchasing crypto. So you can essentially create an app, you create an account on your computer, or you can download the app from the App Store. You set up your account just by entering your details. You add your bank details, and then you just deposit money into the exchange, and then you can simply convert that into whichever crypto that you like. Alternatively, aside from Coinbase, there is Binance, FTX, and a few of our members actually use crypto.com, which is another exchange who I think they recently bought the Staples Center arena in America, which is crazy.
Because I think it's because they offer high yields on pound-based stable coins, which is I think why a lot of people have been attracted to it. I just say also like all of the crypto with Cash coins are available on one of the big exchanges or multiple of the big exchanges, so you don't have to do anything crazy to be able to buy them. Basically, it's like setting up an account with like a normal company, I guess. Okay, so we have a question from Philip who says, "Hi Cash, thanks for your analysis." Just hope people can hear me. Sorry. To be fair, you were very bullish about about the crypto you recommended in November. Obviously, it's gone down. So, and I'm being genuine, not bullshit. Why should we believe your bullishness about Mina? So, in the last crypto workshop, you recommended Sushi, which is still one of the portfolio coins. So, yeah, could you answer Philip's question?
Yeah, that's a good question. So, there are crypto projects out there who, companies who, try to promise huge returns in a short matter of time. One thing we've tried to, emphasize here on Crypto Cash is that we're focused on long term. Crypto, you can get rich quick in crypto, but it is not a get rich quick scheme. I think there's a difference in that. And it's important to remember that at Crypto Cash, we do focus on the long term. So we're doing investing as opposed to, highly speculative trading or short-term trades that a lot of other companies try to promote. Here, again, we're focused on the long term. We are looking at 12 months to 2 to 3 years or more. We know that crypto is highly it works in cycles. So essentially
cyclical, yeah.
I've always struggled to say that word, but it works in cycles essentially. As we've seen before, there was a cycle in 2014, there was a cycle in 2017, there was a cycle in 2021, and it is still ongoing. The idea is that it's very difficult to time the top or buy the very bottom. So one thing we always try to talk about, in the community is dollar cost averaging. So instead of going all in, we like to purchase some at this level, and then when it goes lower down, buy some more, and then when it goes lower down, buy some more. That way we get the average price of these, lower buy orders. That way we're not, essentially using all of our allocated funds to just a certain price. We, average down as time goes on. We believe in the future potential of a project.
Yeah, I think also Sushi is part of the portfolio coin. It's still a recommendation in the portfolio. It's like you said, it's taking that longer term view. And I know some of the members, because they shared this in the chat recently, in this market dip have been buying more Sushi. So it's, I think the thing in the crypto space is you also can't tell when a coin is suddenly going to gain a lot of traction. Like the coin that we were talking about, or I was talking about in the intro, that made 1,212% that you recommended, went up that high. That wasn't doing anything, and then suddenly it just went, and you can't really anticipate when that's going to, or it'd be very, very difficult to anticipate when that's going to happen. It's just like, so that could happen with Sushi,
I
at
think
any
one
point,
thing
really.
we try to make very clear is that we're not psychic. We're not here to say, we can time the bottom and we can tell you to sell right at the top. We're here to say that we found these projects based on our strategy. These are high potential projects. We're going to be investing for the long term. And we try to pick up narratives as they go by. So, for example, as you mentioned, we were quite early to the Metaverse project, even before Facebook announced their rebranding to it. But that's because, I'm personally very interested in the Metaverse. I bought a VR headset years ago. I saw the potential in it, and I started, adding the two industries together, merging them, trying to see what projects go together, and that's how we found that project, and it did, do very well.
Yeah, and I think also part of this is you only need a few coins in the portfolio to go up a lot to offset any that don't. So it is a game of percentages. Like you're trying to pick coins that are fundamentally sound, and then you only need a few of them to go up. But I personally think, Sushi is like, it's like the second most used exchange on Ethereum or something, second or third.
Yeah,
I think it's the most widely used exchange across
it's
loads
deployed
of
on the most number of chains than any other decentralized exchange. Well,
I think it's a very fundamentally sound investment. Maybe it's not a rocket ship one, but I don't know. You don't know what's going to happen, but
that's the thing. So going back to the markets having cycles, Bitcoin has had numerous cycles in its past. In 2013, it went all the way up to $1,000 and fell In 2014, it went up and then fell back down. Same thing happened in 2017, and it actually happened twice in 2021, as we saw. Some members were there for the May crash, and we actually, some of our best performing coins were actually bought during the crash of last year, which is very interesting. I think it's testament.
Now is in my mind, a perfect time to kind of repeat that. But so let's have another. Hopefully, that answered your question, Philip, and feel free to ask another one. So from Andrew, what platforms can you recommend for buying cryptos? So we kind of covered that, but could you just list off?
So we say Binance, Coinbase, FTX, and a lot of our members use crypto.com as well.
Yeah, so those are kind of like the easiest probably to set up accounts with, and you can do a spread and set up an account with each if you wanted to. I think there was a follow-up question of that where somebody asked, "What do you think of crypto.com?"
Crypto.com. Personally, I don't use it that often, but I know some of our members do, and I've said very good things about them. I think one thing they mentioned about crypto.com was that there are quite large spreads. They don't have as much liquidity as these other exchanges.
Right. Okay.
I think that's something to.
So that can be like a hidden fee. So what Kash means by spreads is like the buy and sell. Could you just explain? You probably explain better.
Yeah. So the spreads would be if there's not enough liquidity, then if you want to buy at a certain price, you would actually end up paying more because there are only sellers at those prices. But when there's a lot of liquidity, you can buy at more precise price points.
Yeah, I kind of think of it as a hidden fee sometimes, where you're kind of you're paying more for a cryptocurrency than you would on a different exchange, maybe.
But at the same time, it also comes with a lot of features, like you mentioned, staking. So you can stake your pounds and earn interest more than you would do so on from your bank.
And they do like cards with cash back, and I think the whole user experience is very slick as well, like the app and stuff. So I think,
a lot of people
I can see
say
why people
that they commonly say, "Oh, you can't spend your cryptos on anything in real life." But now there are cards out there where you can spend your Bitcoin, you can spend all your crypto assets as you would with a normal card. So
it's definitely worth a look at. Which platform is Mina on? David asked. You said that in your thing, but can you just let people know
it's
again?
Available on Binance.
Yeah,
it's available on other exchanges as well, but we mainly focus on the highest security, the most popular ones, which is Binance.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I know that it's on Kraken as well, which is I think it's a UK run exchange. Let's see. Peter says Coinbase says Mina is not supported. Can I buy there or not? So no, it's not on Coinbase, Peter, but it is on Binance. It's on Kraken.
It's interestingly enough, Coinbase have invested in Mina. So maybe it's not available right now, but I reckon it will get added sometime.
Yeah, because when you were talking about partnerships and investors, Coinbase was on there. Philip said, "Thank you, Kash." I guess that's for answering the question. This is from Rebecca. So Rebecca asks, going back to crypto wallets, my partner and I both have crypto in Coinbase, but several months ago he was locked out of his, and it turns out it has happened to a lot of people. So I don't know, Rebecca, maybe you can let us know in the chat whether he was able to get back in at all. But so people getting locked out of exchange wallets, Kash, like what is that a problem, and what is the remedy for that, I guess?
So one thing we always try to emphasize at Crypto of Cash is that the number one rule is to only invest with money you can afford to lose. I think that's very important because there are no guarantees. Things do go wrong in crypto, as Rebecca said. There are people who get locked out of their wallets. As long as you're only investing with money you can afford to lose, then you're better protecting yourself in that regard. In regards to wallets, we highly recommend that users purchase a hardware wallet, which is perhaps one of the most secure ways of doing it. It's essentially a small USB-shaped device that basically makes you physically approve transactions before they are made, as opposed to software wallets where if a hacker was to gain access to your computer, they'd be able to send the funds to themselves. Now, more recently, exchanges such as Coinbase have come out and said, okay, we will protect or we will reimburse funds up to, I think, $150,000 pounds, if I'm not mistaken, but up to a certain amount if that does happen. But to prevent from even getting to that stage, you should always consider storing your funds in your own wallet that no one else has access to.
Yeah, the word that is used is non-custodial. So it means that the wallet creators don't have control over your crypto, basically. So if you're looking at wallets and you're trying to decide which one to get, like, look for the phrase non-custodial, because like if you leave your money on an exchange, it's in the custody of that exchange, basically. And unfortunately, Rebecca says that that her partner's just been ignored by the support. So
one thing I would recommend is just to stay on top of it, because during times where crypto goes crazy, a lot of thousands of maybe even millions of people try to download these apps, and obviously some things go wrong. So they will.
You mean like harass the support a bit more? Yeah, and I'd
exactly.
If you've got Twitter or on Reddit, anywhere you can publicly like shame them, you're maybe more likely to get a response. So hopefully sort that out. But I would also add non-custodial mobile phone app wallets. I found are surprisingly quite high security. They're not as highly secure as a hardware wallet, which you'd buy separately. But I was listening to some far more knowledgeable people about Bitcoin and security. And because if you think about your phone, like you've got you can have face recognition, you can have thumb, fingerprint recognition. So they on a scale of safe to not safe, they are quite high up on a scale. Not as high as a hardware wallet, but they're higher than say like a desktop app. Or so. I mean, it's simple as well. So if you're not dealing with massive amounts of money, a non-custodial phone app wallet, and there's ones that Trust Wallet's a very popular one, I think. And I can't.
Yeah, one thing I would add to that is, yes, there are people who obviously have bad experiences with exchanges. I've been there myself. One thing I would say is maybe try contacting them through different mediums. So try to contact them through the website directly. Try to use emails, maybe even contact them on Twitter or Facebook. Of course, make sure you're interacting with the verified accounts and not, scammers. But try to contact them through different mediums. I think that's something you can do. Yeah.
David asks, can you clarify if you can use a hardware wallet to keep any coin? I'll just say, if anyone has any other questions, whatever they are, just stick them in the chat. Because we're maybe coming towards the end of the Q&A, but if there's anything you're dying to ask, again, about Mina, about the strategy, I've got one actually I might throw it in a second, Kash, but yeah. So for David, can you clarify, can you use a hard wallet to keep any coin? And I guess he means or is it just big coins like Bitcoin and Ethereum?
No, I would say the vast majority of coins can be stored on hardware wallets. The most popular ones that we recommend, and I actually use myself, are Ledger. And there's also a Trezor wallet. Again, they're just small hardware, small USB-sized devices that require you to physically approve transactions as opposed to just clicking buttons on your computer.
Yeah.
So that way, even if a hacker was to gain access to your wallet, they wouldn't be able to make transactions because they don't have access to that physical device.
Yeah, and you have to remember a seed phrase to sort of secure it, and that's kind of it, really, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, so David asked, can Mina be kept on them?
Yeah.
So yeah, Mina can. There's also some software wallets. There's about 3 or 4 software. When I say software wallets, like apps on the computer, I guess. I'm guessing you can probably link those to a hardware wallet as well.
Yeah, a lot of these wallets actually support a wide range of a wide range of crypto assets. The list is obviously always growing, and a lot of these projects, since they are based on Ethereum, they can simply be stored on Ethereum wallets. That's the case for the vast majority of cryptos out there.
Yeah, and you can also, just throw this in there as well, you can also stake Mina as well. I'm not sure what the returns are, but you can, like you're saying, if you're going to buy Mina and hold it long term, then it's worth looking into that. Maybe drop us an email if people are interested in that. And we can,
one thing that's great about our community is that when people have questions, they ask in the Telegram group, and we help each other out. It's really useful, I think, in that regard, because as you mentioned, Graham, he's basically created a guide for everyone to use. And
we should just call him Guru Graham, but yeah. Yeah, no, we have like community members that are super like helpful to everyone else. And I think also like it's worth saying when markets come down, it is very emotional to watch your portfolio drop. And it is that counterintuitive emotion of like, even though markets are down, this is the time to buy. And when you've got a community of people to kind of check with and say like, look, I'm worried, but should I be doing this? It gives you that added kind of like support, I guess, to kind of.
And I think that's exactly what's happened with some of the members, the earlier members who joined before the crash.
Yeah, they've lived through it. Yeah, they lived through last May's crash. So yeah, and then made returns. Like who is it? One of the community members that you just read out a minute ago has, like, even with the drop, has doubled their returns since being a member. So okay, so I think I just wanted to ask you about structuring a portfolio, because I think you've said about Mina today, but how big a slice should Mina be of somebody's crypto portfolio, and how would you structure a portfolio generally? I think unless anybody else has got any other questions, we might leave that as the last one.
Yeah, that's a great question. So what we try to do is for our portfolio, we try to have a foundation. So one of the top coins will be part of our portfolio because, as I mentioned earlier, the vast majority of the crypto projects out there are built on top of this crypto here. And when it comes to the other picks, then we recommend maybe putting 5% or 10% of your budget into that crypto. Again, we also recommend, we provide buy orders lower down. That way, if the market was to continue going down, you can bring down your average buy-in price. And that way you're, in a better position when the market goes back up again.
Yeah. And I think that you were saying like sort of even £100 worth of Mina, like right now Mina's $2 something.
Yeah.
And like some of the, one of the cryptos in your portfolio went, like we said at the beginning, went from $30 to $200 odd. Another one went from like, I think it was $1 something or $2 to $13. So if you put £100 in something like that, it can turn into thousands. Those are the kind of exponential gains you only see in crypto nowadays. I mean, I don't even think, like small cap stocks return numbers like that really anymore.
And what we like to do is once the coins do go up, we like to lock in the profits and then leave the rest in, risk free. So while crypto is very risky and is high risk, it's also high rewards. We like to lock in the gains. That way, whatever happens, we've made our profit and we're basically sorted. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think that might wrap up the Q&A. What we'll do is I might open up for questions again at the end. So if anyone's got any left over, then we can answer them then. But I'll just say thank you very much for taking everyone's questions, Kash. I'm going to give people a chance to join the community in a second. So I'll say goodbye to you for now.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Take care.
Okay.
Bye.
And I will just load up my slides. Right, so I just want to say thank you to everyone who took part in that Q&A. Hopefully it was helpful. And again, if you have any questions, I'll open up to answer them at the end of this section. So now, as promised, we're going to drop 2 free goodies into the chat for you in a moment. The first is Kash's full write-up for Mina. So you have a record of the research he walked you through tonight. Plus the recommended buy up to price, so you know how much to sort of the price level to invest in up to. The second free goodie is a cheat sheet for Kash's 8-factor crypto trading strategy, which you can use as a quick reference to analyze just about any crypto on the market. And remember, applying this strategy can be the difference between picking a coin like the one we showed you at the beginning, which Kash tipped, which went up 1,212%, or picking a coin that just falls flat on its face or does nothing. So you'll probably want to make sure you grab both of those freebies, and we'll share them with you in a moment. Now, while we sort that out, I just want to let you know that Mina is not the only potential big hitter coin in the Crypto with Cash portfolio. You may have gathered that from our conversation a minute ago. The portfolio is packed with coins that have solid fundamentals and yet are still trading in the low dollars, but that really could change any day. Let me give you just two examples which I'm personally excited about so you can see exactly what I mean. First is what I like to call the crypto Twitch challenger. Twitch is the world's biggest live streaming platform, growing exponentially year on year by basically every metric you want to measure it by. And yet it faces a huge self-inflicted problem faced by many other centrally run media companies, censorship mismanagement. For example, without warning or explanation, Twitch banned one of its most popular streamers called Dr. Disrespect. And this is the guy with the beautiful mustache you can see there. And they cut him off from his huge audience that he'd spent years developing, not to mention his main income stream. Streamers like Dr. Disrespect need a censorship-resistant platform to call home, which is one big reason to invest in Cash's Twitch-killing crypto pick. It's built on the blockchain, so it's open and censorship-resistant by default. Better yet, by spreading the hardware, running its streaming network all over the globe and allowing anyone to help run it in exchange for earning crypto, it's potentially able to deliver a higher quality, more consistent video streaming experience and more cheaply than Twitch too. Another boon to this project is that it's being developed by a co-founder of YouTube and a co-founder of Twitch, both looking to set the pitfalls of those platforms right with this crypto project. And it already has backing from Google, Sony, and Samsung. This coin is currently trading in the low dollars, an absolute steal if it snags even a small share of the rapidly growing streaming market in the coming months and years. Now, the second crypto I'd like to tell you about is powering what I think of as the people's Wi-Fi. It's no secret that we're at the whim of our broadband companies. You can only get super fast fiber broadband in certain locations in the UK, and BT has a practical monopoly on the non-super fast lines. And all of the companies are happy to gouge your eyes out with high rates for something that really should be a public utility. I mean, our work and personal lives are pretty much dependent on the internet now. Like this event is 100% dependent on the internet, obviously. But there is an alternative. Cash's crypto pick is a decentralized counter movement to all of those problems. It's owned by the people who use it because absolutely anyone can set up a hotspot for this decentralized internet and get paid in crypto for helping to run the network. As testament to how appealing that promise is, there are already more than 600,000 of these hotspots spread around the world. Even where I live in a small town in Devon, there's a few up and running. And despite this rapidly growing global crypto Wi-Fi network, you can still snap up this coin for just tens of dollars. I hope those two examples give you a taste of the huge amount of value I think is packed into the Crypto with Cash portfolio, but you don't need to take my word for it. Let me run you through what's included in the Crypto with Cash membership, and you can decide for yourself whether it's worth your while. So first up, I just noticed that my slide image has changed to a better image. First up, as you might have guessed, you get access to the full Crypto with Cash portfolio. That includes Mina, and there's 23 other coins in the portfolio that Cash believes have huge upside potential. For each of these picks, you get Cash's full 8-factor analysis write-up, his recommended buy up to price, lower buy order prices, as we talked about, so you can snap up a quick bargain if the price dips, and a portfolio allocation percentage so you know just how much of each coin to stock up on. We talked about in the last question in the Q&A there. There's also a shared spreadsheet where we keep track of the official portfolio numbers, which I've shared with you today. Remember, it's absolutely trouncing Bitcoin. I'll keep saying that because Kash is too modest to say it. And you can copy that spreadsheet for your own use or just refer to it whenever you want to get a quick overview of the full portfolio, as we always update it when new picks go out. Speaking of portfolio picks, Kash will deliver you a brand new crypto pick every 2 weeks. We found this is the perfect time frame to slowly build up a long-term portfolio of crypto big hitters. To be clear, we're not day trading here, as we talked about in the Q&A. Our members prefer a more relaxed buy and hold approach to crypto investing. So the bi-weekly newsletter is perfect for that. In each newsletter, Kash talks you through the impacts of recent news on the crypto markets and then gets stuck into the down and dirty 8-factor analysis of his latest tip. As I mentioned a moment ago, this includes the name of the coin and ticker symbol so you can find it on exchanges, his full research and reasoning for the recommendation, a portfolio allocation percentage, his recommended buy up to price, and some lower buy orders to take advantage of any dips. When it comes to selling portfolio picks, sell alerts are sent out in email form separately as and when they're needed. This is so we can take advantage of any short-term market action to bank some extra gains. As Crypto with Kash member Glenda says, Kash sends out sell alerts with incredible accuracy. Now, while Kash's crypto picks are obviously the main draw of the service, there is a very close runner-up, and that's the Crypto with Kash community. And we've referenced this a few times already tonight. We run a private Telegram chat group where members are invited to chat with each other and Kash. And Telegram is just a chat app like WhatsApp. You just download it on your phone and you can join the group. And you'll find me there. And obviously, I think there's 100 odd other members of the community. So we do 3 main things in the community chat, and I'll take you through them. Number 1, we celebrate winners, like when Marco bagged a quick 10% while he was sleeping. Or he also banked 305%, which I showed you a screenshot of him celebrating earlier. Or another example is when the whole group celebrated gains of 9%, 22%, 19%, and 12% in just 24 hours. So yeah, we do a lot of celebrating winners in the chat. Another thing we do is we also help each other out, which I think is hugely important coming into the crypto space because it's new for a lot of people. An example is like when I helped Glenda move crypto from an exchange to her crypto wallet. Another example is when Marco helped Sam pick the best crypto exchange for his personal situation. Or when Graham, who we talked about in the Q&A, he straight up wrote an entire staking guide to help other members make as much as 57% APY on some of their cryptos. And as I mentioned earlier, Graham's actually put together a few different guides for the community. Another one shows you how to transfer your crypto from FTX exchange to Binance, because some people were having problems depositing straight into Binance. So this was like a workaround. And that, you know, Graham is just happy to help people in the chat with that. Oh yeah, and by the way, on top of the 200% and 300% gains I showed you Graham making earlier, he also made 58%, 42%, and 104% in just 5 days buying and selling some of Kash's crypto picks. So he just decided that he wanted to do a bit of trading on them just to make some extra money. Of course, we also have, and this is a third thing that goes on a lot in the chat group, we also have lots of fun chin wagging about all the goings on in the crypto world. Whether it's serious news about banks limiting deposits into crypto exchanges, or the impact of, you know, geopolitical events like what we're seeing in Ukraine at the moment. Or it could just be a bit of fun banter at Elon Musk's expense, because, you know, everybody loves some humor, or I do at least. As you can see, the Crypto with Kash community is a huge part of the service. After all, crypto is a new and exciting world, but it's also big and messy and confusing at times. So what better way to navigate the choppy crypto waves than with a crew of like-minded folk at your side? As Glenda says, She finds it very reassuring to keep reading positive news and keep buying steadily alongside everyone else, which I think is really important, especially in like when the markets have cooled down a bit. And talking about getting help with your crypto adventure, don't worry if you're brand new to the game either, because we've got some stuff for you there. As well as having the community to back you up, Kash has put together 2 super accessible guides to help you get started. The first is his beginner's guide, which unsurprisingly does what it says on the cover. It gives you a good introduction to the crypto space and DeFi cryptos in particular, which is decentralized finance cryptos. Inside this guide, Kash walks you through the current state of crypto, an introduction to DeFi or decentralized finance cryptos, his full 8-factor crypto strategy, and a step-by-step guide to buying cryptos on Coinbase. The second guide, which you get when you join Crypto with Kash, is called Risky Crypto. Again, the giveaway is in the name. This guide covers everything you need to know about crypto wallets, risks, and scams. Inside, you'll discover a breakdown of the 4 crypto wallet options and the pros and cons of each, guidelines for avoiding scams like fake cryptos, phishing scams, pump and dumps, and social engineering scams, and advice on how to survive market volatility, secretly centralized cryptos, and other pitfalls of crypto technology. As I say, if you're new to the space, these guides and the community will have you up and running in no time at all. So to summarize, Crypto with Kash membership bags you Kash's current 24 coin portfolio and his write-ups for each, a hot new crypto pick every 2 weeks, email sell alerts as and when they're needed, access to the private Telegram community, and 2 guides, one to introduce you to the world of crypto and one to help you survive it. So you're probably wondering, how much will all of this set you back? You might be thinking it will cost an arm and a leg. After all, you've already seen how Kash's tips have absolutely trounced Bitcoin and have also given you the chance to make thousands of % on individual coins, or in other words, the ability to turn £100 into 1,000 or 1,000 into 10,000, or if you really wanted to go crazy, 10,000 into 100,000. I mean, that's if you'd put 10,000 into that coin that went up 1,200%. Well, you would be laughing, wouldn't you? And but we're also talking about getting access to a portfolio still packed with cryptos poised to potentially repeat these kind of gains. Plus, get a new crypto recommendation delivered to your inbox every 2 weeks. But I personally think Crypto with Kash membership is a bit of a bargain, as you can snag quarterly membership tonight for just £199.97. That gives you access to everything I've already outlined, plus 6 new issues of Kash's newsletter, each containing a new recommendation. And of course, you get our rock solid 30-day money back guarantee. When you think about it, the profits from just one of Kash's picks could easily cover a whole year's subscription cost and more. So the value, I think, really does outweigh the upfront cost here. But as I mentioned earlier, that's actually not the best deal we've got for you tonight. You see, if you opt for annual membership, you can bag a tidy £199.91 discount. Why are we doing this? Well, as you've seen today, Kash's approach to crypto investing is picking well-researched coins that have the potential to make you huge gains over the medium to long term. We're not FOMOing into the latest coin trending on Twitter. That's why Kash wants to reward new members who bring a long-term attitude to the community. So if you grab an annual membership today, instead of paying £799.88, which is what a year's worth of quarterly membership adds up to, you'll pay just £599.97. As I say, that's a saving of £199.91. And of course, you still get our rock solid money back guarantee. But even better, for annual membership, we actually bump it up to 60 days. Just to put the price of Crypto with Kash into perspective, it's way more reasonable than our main competitors. For example, the Crypto Traders Academy charges £527 per quarter and £1,997 per year. plus VAT. That's about £1,397 more than crypto with cash per year, and even more when you factor in the VAT. And there's no track record to be found anywhere on their sales page that I could find. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you need to email them or something. Then there's Sam Volkering's Crypto Profits Extreme. This is, I was quoted £3,109 per year for this. Again, I haven't seen the full track record laid out like we've done with the Crypto with Cash portfolio today, just sort of individual examples. So that's about £2,500 more than Crypto with Cash. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't have anything against these services or the people running them. I just really want to highlight the value we've packed into Crypto with Cash membership, and that we've also been very transparent about the performance of the service over the last year. So with everything laid on the table for you, if becoming a member of Crypto with Cash sounds good to you, I'm going to drop a link into the chat right now, and you'll be able to join us if you'd like to. So if you are interested in joining, there should be a link in the chat, and you can just let me know if there's not. And as soon as you do join, you'll receive a welcome email with instructions on how to access everything we've promised you tonight. Of course, it's up to you what you want to do. You can pick quarterly or annual membership, or you can go it alone in the world of crypto and not take us up on either offer at all. But both me and Kash, and I'm sure the rest of the community, would love to have you on board as part of the Crypto with Cash community. However, there is a catch, as I mentioned at the beginning of the workshop. As I said, we're only opening up the doors to 15 new members today. That's because we want to make sure we have the capacity to help each new member get set up as smoothly as possible. We offer support via email and also our private Telegram community, as I mentioned. So obviously, if we take on too many people at once, we won't be able to offer everyone the one-to-one help we pride ourselves in offering. So once we hit 15 new members, doors will shut for the foreseeable future, and it's first come, first serve basis. So again, if you know you want in, as I say, you can go ahead and secure your membership by clicking on the link that's that should be below the webinar window right now. Let me just check. Yep, should be there. And as soon as you do, you'll receive a welcome email with instructions on how to access everything we've promised you tonight. Of course, there is one more thing we need to talk about. I haven't forgotten. We promised you Kash's full write-up on Mina and a cheat sheet for his 8-factor strategy to download for free. I'm going to add those to the chat now, so you should be able to download them in just a second. Let me just share them with you. So you should see buttons to download the Mina newsletter and Kash's 8-factor strategy cheat sheet. Let me know in the chat if you can't see those, but you should be able to download them now. Also, don't worry if you don't get around to downloading them this evening. We're going to send you an email tomorrow with a replay of the workshop, so you can watch it at your own pace if you want to. And we'll also make sure the 2 freebies there's links for those in that email as well, so you really don't miss out on this free content. So for now, I'm just going to say thank you to everyone for taking part in the workshop, and I'm just going to stick around for the next 5 or 10 minutes and answer any questions you may have about the service or about any crypto stuff that I might be able to answer. Obviously, I'm not an expert like Kash, but so there is a slight lag on the chat. So Amjid, the free crypto play has already been mentioned. Kash walked people through the play. It's called Mina. You should be able to you should see a download for his write-up on Mina in the below the workshop window now that you can download. We'll also be sending out via email tomorrow. Yeah, so as I say, there's a bit of a lag on the chat, so I'll just stick around for 5 or so minutes to answer any questions anyone has. Yeah, just to reiterate, Greg, sorry, the annual saving price is you're saving £199.91. That's the discount value. And yeah, just to reiterate, there's a 60-day money-back guarantee on the annual option for membership and a 30-day money-back guarantee on the quarterly. Leanne asks, I've heard of crypto being a scam run by the NWO folks at WF. I'm not sure what those acronyms stand for. Sorry. And worried about investing and then somebody pulling the plug on us. I mean, so there are a lot of crypto scams and there's a lot of fake cryptos. There's a lot of people kind of making things that kind of look like cryptos that aren't. But if you're investing in something that's actually a cryptocurrency, it can't really have the plug pulled on it because it's decentralized by nature. So that means that rather than no one group has control over, say, Bitcoin, the control is spread across many thousands of nodes, many thousands of people mining this coin. So even if a government in one country banned Bitcoin, it's still, the mining can take place in a different country. So it's because it's decentralized, as in it's spread out everywhere, it's distributed everywhere, it's very hard to shut something like that down. But as I say, and we've talked about tonight, there is a lot of scams in cryptocurrency, and you need to make sure you're investing in cryptocurrencies that are legitimately decentralized and have good fundamentals as an investment, which is what Kash's strategy will help you do. So make sure you download the free strategy guide and have a proper read through that. World Economic Forum, the New World Order. Okay, I don't know much about that, sorry. Yeah, I'll stick around for a few more minutes. Let me know if you've got any questions. And thank you again for everyone turning up tonight and taking part. Hopefully it was useful to you. Gonna have to set up my webcam differently next time, so I'm not doing an impression of an owl all the time. Okay, I think that might be it. As I say, if you haven't downloaded the free guides, don't worry, we'll email links to everyone tomorrow and a replay of the workshop, so you can rewatch Kash's walkthrough of Mina and the Q&A if it's useful to you. And just thank you again for everyone for turning up and participating. Okay, we're actually sending out the replay tonight, I think, and the downloads. Okay, so Amjid asks, is Mina a buy currently? Then if it's one that could return 1,000% potentially. Yeah, it's as far as the crypto with cash portfolio goes, Kash is recommending Mina is a buy now, Amjid. The markets are down, so really now is a very good time to buy it, I think, because fundamentally it's sound. It's early on in development. It's got like Kash walked us through, it's got this big idea. It's the solution that a lot of other crypto platforms are facing. So I'd say now is a very good time to buy it. Okay, so if anybody else has any more questions, drop us an email and we'll be more than happy to answer them. So again, thank you to everyone for coming along tonight, and I hope it's been useful to you, even if you do decide not to join Crypto with Kash. But if you do want to join, we're of course more than happy to welcome you aboard. So again, thank you very much, and I will see you all later.